welcome. I'm Elizabeth Koskin, a PhD research student based here at the University of Southampton's Web and Internet Science Research Group. Web science is an emerging subject, first formally defined in 2006. Since the foundation of web science, an increasing number of web science taught programs have become available worldwide. Despite the increasing popularity of web science as a taught subject, there are currently very few curriculum definitions available defining the scope of web science. This presentation and paper shows some early results of an analysis of web science taught modules, with the aim of discovering what is taught as part of web science programs worldwide. The web science key topics identified during this project will form the basis of the proposed outcome, which is a taxonomy of key topics outlining the scope of the web science subject. The current most definitive effort to create a formal definition for web science is the web science subject categorization. The WSSC, which was released for public use in 2011, was a collaboration between academics which aimed to create a formal curriculum definition for web science. The WSSC was derived using a formal top-down, theoretical-based approach. Academics derived a set of categories by breaking web science down into its constituent parts, for example, computational, mathematical, social, economic, and legal. It has been suggested by some members of the web science community that the WSSC is now outdated. It is no longer hosted on the Web Science Trust website. Traditional top-down methods of curriculum definition typically involve a panel of experts agreeing a set of criteria and then seeking evidence to validate their theory. The final agreed curriculum definition is then given to educators for their feedback before it becomes a formal curriculum. This approach is both costly, time-consuming and onerous, and were the same approach applied for web science, it could arguably become outdated by the time it were completed. Following the withdrawal of the WSSC from the Web Science Trust website, there is currently no formal definition available for web science. Yet there are a number of web science taught programs in existence. This study conducts a qualitative bottom-up examination of web science-related curricula and resources in order to build a picture of web science according to how it is taught worldwide in a reverse engineering fashion. The proposed bottom-up approach is suited to qualitative grounded theory, incorporating mixed methods, as outlined by Strauss and Corbin. While this study includes largely qualitative data, it also includes some quantitative analysis of data, such as keyword analysis. According to Strauss and Corbin, theory derived from the data is far more likely to resemble reality than theory drawn from a series of concepts or speculation. When utilizing a grounded theory approach, the researcher will typically collect data and then undertake the process of coding the data in order to identify themes. This study began with a simple desk survey identifying institutions which teach web science, the results of which are shown here. This was followed by a more detailed survey of individual web science taught modules taught by the universities identified. The data was gathered from the university websites. Most of the institutions identified as teaching web science taught programs provided at least some individual module data on their websites. This table shows the fields under which the data was gathered and stored in a spreadsheet. The information recorded in the Topics Taught field is of particular interest, as this shows the content taught by each module. The qualitative data analysis package NVivo was used in order to analyze the topics taught data from the web science taught modules identified. This table shows the top 15 most commonly occurring key topics identified. These key topics, in combination with the key topics identified from a similar analysis of web science conference proceedings, will ultimately be utilized to create the proposed taxonomy of web science key topics. The proposed outcome of this project is an editable resource to be hosted on the University of Southampton's Web and Internet Science Department's website, to be named the Web Science Lexicon. The structure of the Web Science Lexicon is still under development. However, the proposed structure of the lexicon will consist of a matrix similar to the example shown. This is a demonstration of the proposed structure, which currently uses the Outline of Science taxonomy subjects from Wikipedia, structured under the main three headings of the web science subject categorization. The completed lexicon will ultimately feature the web science key topics identified from the web science taught programs. The matrix structure facilitates the demonstration of interdisciplinarity within web science. The aim of the Web Science Lexicon is to illustrate the scope of web science, providing a referenceable resource for those wishing to understand the scope of web science, creating a form of web science encyclopedia. This presentation has outlined the bottom-up, grounded theory mixed method-based approach proposed for use during this study, justifying why this method is suited to the research of web science due to the rapid evolution of the web science subject. Web science is always evolving and changing. The proposed Web Science Lexicon will serve as a starting point for creating ongoing discussion about web science. Each subject page within the lexicon will feature a brief synopsis of the subject, which will include crowdsourced contributions from web science students asked to choose an area of interest to them within web science and provide a brief definition of their chosen subject area. The ultimate aim is to have a resource updated by web science students of the future for web science students of the future. If any of the information you have heard during this presentation is of particular interest to you, please don't hesitate to contact me using the email address shown on the screen. Thank you for watching.